Hey, Howard here at 82 Maple, amateur hobby farmer. And today we're going to talk about gloves. And I have 4 criteria when I think about the gloves I want to wear. Number 1, comfort. Number 2, affordability. Number 3, the practical use of those gloves. And lastly, the durability. So if we're looking for an acronym, it would be CAPD. C-A-P-D. Let's do this. So here we are. This is about gloves. But before we get into the gloves, hey, look at this. What I found on Facebook Marketplace. A mid-1950s Snap-on toolbox. I love it. And so I'm going to put my new gloves in the top of this just to honor it. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of these gloves. Look at this. It's amazing. Let's get on to the gloves. So, you know what? When we talk about comfort and affordability, these are amazing gloves. These are my winter gloves for when I'm working outside handling large objects. But you know what? For 99% of the year here on our little hobby farm, these aren't going to work. So let's just set those aside. Secondly, I see a lot of folks wearing these rubberized palms and fingers and knit backgrounds. They're amazing. It's great workwear. But you know what? There's something about it that I just don't like. It's me. But if you're looking for comfort and affordability and durability, you know, they're not bad. And now we're talking personal preference. So I'm going to set them aside. Then we have, what is this? Helly Hansen, Extreme, etc., etc. You pay a small fortune for it because we're paying Helly Hansen for, there it is. There's the real logo for the brand name. And look at this. Just ripped right out there. This was after maybe a week's wear. And let me just interject here. Here's what the typical week looks like for me. I probably do hobby farm activities for 5 hours a day, 5 days a week. The rest of the time, I'm doing other stuff. And these gloves lasted less than 2 weeks. They were over $40. Hey, I'm in Canada. U.S. pricing is going to be different and less, but wasn't impressed. Will not get another pair. Yeah, I know. They have all of this. I don't need all of this. And you can tell there's no wear on there. So I appreciate everything they've done for somebody that is banging their knuckles on stuff. But I'm concerned about palms, and my primary wear points are right out here on these fingers. These did well there, but when you rip apart there, that does me little or no good. Both of them just ripped out right there. Not helpful at all. Then we have these. I'm not keen on these because of the big, I'm going to call it a glove collar up around here. Catches on stuff, whatever. I don't even know what brand these are. I'm sure I've seen a tag on them somewhere. Watson. They're comfortable. They get the job done. They're reasonably durable. But I personally don't like the fit and feel. So let's keep moving. So at Canadian Tire, which is the equivalent of, I don't know what, Harbor Freight in the U.S., Tractor Supply, a combination thereof, something like that, they have these gloves that are branded Mechanics. And I don't know if you've seen these, but here's what happens to them. The seaming is horrible. Look at this. And they all just rip apart there. And so for at least 2 or 3 years, I kept buying these. And then finally I figured out that I'm literally going through a pair of these once every 2 weeks. So I'm getting 40 to 50 hours max out of these before they start disintegrating. Here's another one. Yep. And here's another one. Just comes right apart on the end of the finger. And I kind of went, what? I'm spending, I think the tag on these is $31 in Canada, between $29 and $31. You throw our tax on, federal and provincial, and we're into $35. So I'm into $70 a month for gloves. You have got to be kidding me. Let me back up just a little bit. I'll tell you what I'm doing. So we do sawmilling. I've got a little hobbyist sawmill. We do property maintenance. We do renovations and repairs. If you've been following the channel, it's a bit of a derelict property, so there's stuff that constantly needs attention. And then we do creation. We build a woodshed. We create something like this shop. We are repairing and building new fences. We're building feed shelters. And so that's the activity that these gloves are involved with. Now, let's move on. Carrying on, Snap-on. Hey, if you've been following the channel, you know that I'm a former Snap-on dealer and a Snap-on fan through and through and through. These are their gloves. Incidentally, there's these little tags on just about every kind of glove you can buy. And what I usually do with those is I take these and we do a little, hang in here, it's called a glove vasectomy. There, it's gone. And it won't bother me anymore. But as amazing as they are, and as good as they are in terms of wear and tear, they're just bulky and they're stiff. And yeah, maybe it's a wonderful form of hand exercise or something like that just to be wearing these. But I just found them, you know what? When one is wearing a set of gloves, in my humble opinion, one should not be thinking about the gloves. The gloves are a second skin. And I found when wearing these, I was constantly aware that I was wearing a modestly uncomfortable glove. It was putting pressure here. And yeah, hey, I've done manual labor for the first, I don't know how many years of my life, and now on this property, and I should be way past having to think about what's on my hands. Let's move along. Red Wing. So maybe Red Wing is a local phenomenon, but here in the province of British Columbia, they deliver the best possible boot experience. That doesn't mean they're perfect, but they're durable, the service, the quality, etc. is amazing. So having their boots, I went for their gloves. Look at this. It looks like mice got into my gloves in the middle of the night, and every pair is like this. So all of these gloves are rated based on what happens after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, which by the definition I provided a couple minutes ago equates to 50 work hours max. How is that even acceptable? Again, these are premium gloves. These are up in the range of $40 a pair, taxes included. Coral is behind the camera and she's saying it was more than that, Howard. And you know what? She's probably right. In fact, she is. And that is just ridiculous. So where does that leave us? So you can see some Milwaukee gloves laying here. Let's go down through that tick list again. Comfort, affordability, performance, and durability. So on the 2-week test, what have we got going here? The seams are tight. They are stitched and double stitched. Look at that. That is just solid. I've got a little hole developing there. Nothing out here at these fingertips. This one, I don't know what I was doing with the left hand that provoked that hole there. But those are a great glove. In terms of comfort, starting at the top, 10 out of 10. Affordability, no, they're up there. They're up in that $35 range Canadian. But you know what? I've got more than 2 weeks out of these, and they're still chugging along. And yes, I gave it the little glove vasectomy. And this is a second pair here. Different model, but again, you know, we've got some wear developing here. But as I try and dissect these in front of the camera, there's nothing wrong with them yet. So I've got my 2 weeks, and I'm going to get likely another 2 weeks out of them. Hey, there's where I've landed. So here I've got a brand new pair ready to go. But I can't wrap this up without an honorable mention. So there's some John Deere branded gloves. I have no idea where they make these, who makes them, nothing. But they are super, super comfy. They didn't even have the tag I had to take off. And look at them. So, yeah, we have some holes developing. But again, yeah, this is starting to come undone. That could have been stitched a little better. You know what? While Milwaukee is my go-to, John Deere is a great runner-up. Here's the sad part of this story. I went back to the dealership for the gloves. They don't stock them. They don't know when they can get them. They don't know if they can get them again. So Milwaukee has a great supply of these in terms of the brown leather palm versus these ones. I'm going for these ones, thanks to the extra reinforcements here. And good on you, Milwaukee. You make great power tools. But quite aside from that, if I was a DeWalt, a Makita, something else guy, hey, I would still go for the Milwaukee gloves. Hey, you know what? I know this wasn't very scientific. It's just based on a guy with a dirty shirt. Hey, somebody just told me recently, never take advice from a hobby farmer with a clean shirt. Well, therefore, you can take my advice, because in every video I appear in a dirty shirt because I'm out there gutting it out on a little hobby farm, doing what I do and love to do. So there you have it, and I hope you found this useful. I'd love to hear your comments below. If you have found a better glove, I'm all ears, because my glove expenditure, minimum $600 to $700 a year. So I'll take any suggestions. Again, there we have it. Thanks for tuning in.